Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone. Welcome to my April Wake and Stretch. So I believe today is Saturday, April 4th, at least where I am, it's the morning of the 4th. And if this is your first time tuning in or watching this, this is just an invitation to practice together in the morning so that we can show up for one another. So this practice is my personal practice. So if you are someone who has watched my yoga videos, or if you're a former dance student, or if I've worked with you in theater or dance in any capacity, you know that when I instruct, I use a lot of words. But in this case, because this is a little bit more casual, it is more of a shared experience, I'm going to lead through what I'm doing with minimal instruction. So it just means that I'll give you a heads up of what I'm going to do before I do it, because honestly, I don't know either. There's no plan here. I'm following my intuition. These are my intuitive vibes going out there. So I'm just going to jump on the mat. I'm going to see how long this goes. And hello, Matthew. Good to see you. Yeah, so here we go. I'm just going to start in a child's pose. Deep breaths are always a good idea. They help to relax the body. And child's pose is a good starter for the day because basically all the joints are getting a good stretch. I'm going to take about one more breath here. And then bring it up onto hands and knees, coming into tabletop. And we're moving through cow and cat for a few cycles of breath. From here, I'm going to make my way into downward facing dog. Gently pedaling through the feet. And from here, three-legged dog with a twist. This is a nice stretch for the belly, the waistline, the front of the floating thigh, and the standing leg. Then I'm going to gently come into a low lunge. If you hear that barking, that deep bark is Zeus. He's outside, and the other barks are our other two dogs, Loki and Socks. But apparently there's another dog out on the road, or a person out there, so they're really excited. From here, I'm actually going to open up the hamstrings a little bit. I'm going to come into half monkey. So weight comes onto the left knee. I'm going to take a gentle stretch forward. Now, because it is so early in the morning for me and I'm just waking up, I'm not trying to go into my deepest stretches. I'm trying to keep it a little bit more shallow. Let my body ease in, open up, taking my time. From here, I'm going to come back into tabletop and then downward facing dog again. Coming into the twisted three-legged dog on the other side, so the left leg is up and bent. And making my way into a low lunge. Chilling out here for a little bit, letting the hips open up. And from here, half monkey. Bringing my weight onto the right knee and gently folding forward. Shifting my way back, tabletop to, where do I want to go? I think I'm going to go to child's pose. I'm going to gently roll up from here, and I'm going to take some screaming toe. So what that means is that I'm going to tuck my toes underneath, and making sure that if the pinky toe actually does touch the ground, that it is a part of the stretch as well. Keeping the heels underneath the sit bones. And coming up, toes will scream in a couple seconds. And from here, I'm actually going to press my weight back and bring the bottoms of my feet, the balls of my feet together, and just slump over. My heels are going to whatever natural distance they are from the ground. And this allows for a little bit more stretch through the Achilles tendon and the calf, the lower portion of the calf muscle. I'm supporting my torso on my thigh, so I am completely relaxed forward. My hands are here so that I don't fall over. Now from here, there's a nice balance to keep yourself nice and grounded. Keep the inner thighs active, and then just gently roll up. Hands can come onto the thighs. So you can sit up. My ankles are generally relaxed. I'm not forcing them up or down. They're just where they naturally want to go. They are wibble wobbling a little bit. You probably can't see that in the video, but they're stabilizing. Ooh. Maybe that's a sign I need to be a little bit more quiet. But from here, I'm going to take a forward fold. So I'm going to bring my fingers down to the mat and let the hips come up. I'm opening up the feet a little bit here. I'm going to bend the knees and take ragdoll. And just let myself flop over. So as you can tell, I'm slowly moving up through the legs to open them up. My spine gets the benefit of all these stretches because I'm folding forward. So from here, I'm going to take a twist in this forward fold. I'm going to bend at the left knee, right arm comes up. I'm going to take this into a bind right away. So my fingertips are coming to the opposite hip crease. And I'm doing this so that I can push the hand back into my hip crease. And this helps to lengthen the spine so that it doesn't curl. Sometimes what happens is this curling action. We want to keep it long. I'm going to switch to the other side. Bringing it back to the forward fold. And inhale, reverse swan dive, coming all the way up to vertical. Exhaling, hands to the heart. I'm going to just take a few breaths here with my arms, just to coordinate my breath and my movement. back down to the mat with a sun salutation. I think I'll pause here in plank for a few breaths. And I'm going to continue through the sun salutation, lowering down, knees, chest, chin. I'm going to release the feet, and I'm actually going to bring them a little bit wider so they're the width of my mat. And then come up into Sphinx pose. I'm going to skip the cobra and take my back bend here. So the legs and the glutes are relaxed. My shoulders are a little bit more active here. Lifting the heart through the arms. I'm going to take a little bit of a shoulder opener here. So my right arm is going to thread underneath. My shoulder comes to about a quarter in. On the other hand comes in front. In Yin Yoga, this is called crushed wings. It does open up between the shoulder blades. You may feel this through the deltoids, the triceps as well. If you are practicing with me and this is too much, then just take one arm at a time. You can use the other hand as a support. It does help to bring the breath to your upper ribs, your upper chest, and that'll give you a natural stretch. Yep, and I'm feeling some pins and needles and some numbness, so that's the sign to come out. Ugh. Finding my Sphinx pose again. And I'm going to switch to the other side now. So the left arm will thread underneath, and then the right arm comes on top. And the one side always feels a little bit more awkward than the other. And this is the side for me. It might not look like it, boy does it feel weird. So I'm going to gently come out and take a little rest with my arms down by my sides. I'll just let everything relax. So from here, I'm going to take that same threading of the arm. So we'll take the right arm underneath. And this time bring the shoulder to the middle of the mat. Roll onto your right side and pull the knees in towards your chest so that you're in fetal position. And then let the other arm come around for a nice twist. It doesn't matter what the legs look like. It's okay if this top shoulder doesn't touch the ground. You may feel this through your chest, your spine, your outer hip and thigh. And if you want a little bit deeper sensation, you can always grab the top foot with the opposite hand. One more breath here. And then gently finding my way back onto the belly. Switching to the next side. Finding that glorious fetal position, and then letting the right arm open up. Intensifying if you'd like, extending the top leg and let the hand connect to the foot. If it's available, if it's not, don't worry about it. Wherever your body can go. And I'm going to gently come back into fetal position. I move myself a little bit more forward because instead of coming onto the belly, I'm going to switch onto the back. Just taking a nice deep breath here. Letting my spine kind of relax and reacclimate to being in its natural position. And then letting the legs come up in the air and giving them a good shake. This is one of my favorite things to do. It gets the fluid moving through the legs a little bit better. Since most of us spend most of our time upright with the head over the feet, this gives the body an opportunity for restoring. The heart doesn't have to work as hard to pump the blood. So, and for those of us who are getting older and you're starting to see veins pop up on the legs, being upside down helps to reduce that. At least that's what they say. I do this often enough that I do have a couple veins up there, but I don't know if that actually works or not. But that's what they say, at least in the yogic world. So why not go with it, right? All right, so from here, I'm going to keep my right leg up. I want a little bit more hamstring stretch this morning. So I'm going to go ahead and grab. If you are practicing with me and your hamstrings are tight, you can always hold onto the hamstring itself and gently pull. You want the hips to stay on the mat. For me, my knees don't necessarily straighten all the way on their own, so I'm going to help them out. I grab onto my calf and I use my elbows against my thigh bone to help straighten it out. This gives a little bit more intense sensation, at least for my body. If your toes are available, you can always grab onto those. That'll give you more sensation through the calf. Yowza, that's enough calf for me. Eek. So from here, I'm going to take this top leg, bend it, outwardly rotate it, and find happy baby on that leg. And the other leg is going to come into a half butterfly position. Gently release. Shake the legs out again. I'll move to the left side. Stretching out that hamstring, whatever that means to you. And now taking that top leg, finding the happy baby, bottom leg comes into a butterfly position or half butterfly position. I'm going to bring my right leg up as well and come into a full happy baby. Bottoms of the feet together, knees out to the side, heels come down towards the sit bones. And then bring the legs down to come into a full reclined bound angle pose or reclined butterfly position. Now I'm feeling like I need a little bit more chest opening or heart opening. And so that means that I'm going to move into fish pose onto the upper part of this whatever position my body's in. If you haven't done fish pose before, just be very mindful if you're going to move into it with me. We don't want the back of the neck to be crunched. The back of the neck needs to stay very long and extended. So the hands come underneath the hips, and you want to make a nice triangle shape with your hands, and they come underneath. Tuck your chin to your chest. You're going to lift up onto your elbows. I'm going to tilt my pelvis a little bit away from me, so the belly button is shooting out, and then from there lifting the chest and letting the head come back. Now the elbows can open until the crown of the head touches. Just make sure the back of your neck isn't crunchy. To come out of this, you're going to press down through the hands. Inhale, lift the chin to the chest. And then exhale, gently roll down. Releasing the hands out. I'm going to move into Shavasana from here. So I'll probably stay here for about 8 full breaths or so. Do yourself a favor if you are practicing with me, don't skip Shavasana. It's so important for the body and for your mind to just kind of be there and absorb what's happening. One more nice deep breath. Starting to move the arms and the legs, giving a nice long stretch. And hugging the knees in towards the chest, giving a little rock from side to side. Rolling into fetal position again. And then gently pressing up to a seated position. Sitting up nice and tall. I'm going to do a little bit of alternate nostril breathing. This has been my jam lately. I'm going to come a little bit closer. Oh, now I can see who's here. Who's here? Oh, hi, everybody. All right, so I'm going to move through alternate nostril breathing. If you haven't done this one before, you'll take your peace fingers and press it up against your third eye, and you'll use your ring finger and thumb against the bridge of your nose. And this gently blocks the air from coming in. But if you're congested, you can just follow the pattern that I talk through the first couple times mentally, because that works as well. Okay, so here we go. And I take an inhale through both nostrils. I'm going to block the right side and exhale out the left. And I inhale through the left. Switch my fingers, exhale right. Inhale right. Switch the fingers, exhale left. That's one full round. Probably go through just a few more rounds. I'll narrate through one more and then I'll be quiet so that we can all breathe. In through the left. Switch fingers, exhale right. Inhale through the right. Switch fingers, exhale left. That's the second round. Inhale left. Switch, exhale right. Inhale right. switch, exhale left. As I'm going to do a few rounds on my own without talking, you feel free to join me. If you're finished, then take another Shavasana and I'll see you tomorrow. Otherwise, you can breathe with me. One more full round. Gently find your way to Shavasana. One last rest. Gently waking up out of the Shavasana once again. Same way as we did before. This time, taking a few moments, you can either press your hands together at your heart or bring one to your heart and one to your belly, whatever suits you this morning. I always like to take a few moments for gratitude at the end of a practice. So giving thanks for something, anything that brings you joy. And for me this morning, I'm actually grateful that you all showed up and you're here with me in this live feed. I'm also grateful for, I'm actually grateful for this experience that we all have an opportunity to check in and kind of slow down a little bit. If you'd like to share what you're grateful for, please feel free to send me a message, or if you'd like to type it right here in the chat, that's cool too. I hope you have a beautiful day. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste. All right, my friends. So that concludes today's Wake and Stretch. I will be here tomorrow, same time, same place. Please send me messages if you have a request for something. Although I am trying to do this a little bit more intuitively, but you are more than welcome to inspire me. Because honestly, sometimes we get stuck in ruts, whether it's movement or behaviors or eating patterns, whatever it is. And it's nice to have input from other people to see what they're thinking and feeling. So please, let's have a conversation. I'm going to repost this up on the Book of Face. Sorry, that was Dorothy. Up on Facebook, as well as on YouTube. So I have two different playlists, a playlist on each, so that you can tap in at any time. Otherwise, have a beautiful Saturday, or if you're finishing up Friday night, I hope you enjoy your Friday night, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.